The first pro regarding the 2025 Toyota Tundra, it's got to be the looks. I have driven sports cars that have gotten less attention out on the road compared to this pickup truck. Everyone is looking at this vehicle, and I really appreciate the fact that I got this mud bath color to check out. This is the all-new color for 2025, but keep in mind, if you want to get that flashy red interior, you have to go with the other exterior colors. The mud bath only comes with the black interior, which is fine. I still think that it looks great, but something to keep in mind. I also like the attention to detail regarding the exterior and the interior. All of these little touches throughout the vehicle, it really gives it character, and it certainly elevates it compared to the rest of the Tundra lineup. We also have here the 18-inch BBS forged wheels, and we have the 285 wide Falcon off-roading tires. Surprisingly, these tires, they are very quiet. But comment below, let me know your thoughts regarding the looks of this vehicle. The next real pro regarding the Tundra TRD Pro, it's got to be many aspects regarding the drive. This is pretty quiet for what it is, pretty comfortable. This iForce Max hybrid drivetrain, I've said this before, it responds flawlessly, no issues, no real lag, and it gets up to speed, effortlessly. You're just smoking traffic in this, no issues. But I'll talk more about the Hybrid Max in a moment. But yeah, it is powerful. It does produce 437 horsepower, 583 pounds-feet of torque. Sounds great on paper. Your everyday left-hand, right-hand turns, it's surprisingly stable. Your high-speed stability, that's excellent. And this is a truck that weighs about 6,100 pounds. Yet out on the road, it's performing almost flawlessly, really, and handles way better than the previous generation Tundra. I would say the only subtle cons regarding the drive, it's going to be with this A-pillar. It provides us with an obnoxious blind spot when driving. I feel like competing products do a better job with the A-pillar, and this goes for the Sequoia as well, but oh well, you can get used to that. I just wanted to bring that up. The only other thing is the steering. It is rather light, and that makes it easy to drive, easy to whip around, right? Quite effortless. But here's the thing, this steering, it's like hyper reactive, and we're driving a large, wide truck, and any small input means that you're going to be like out of your lane. You have to be hyper focused when driving this truck and really manage that steering. I wish Toyota would have given this truck a slightly more heavier steering to make it a bit easier to keep this in its lane, but oh well, it's a small thing. The real con I have with the TRD Pro and the drive, it's going to be the steering ratio and just taking U-turns. It is pretty bad, especially in this TRD Pro, because according to Toyota, the lock-to-lock ratio for these TRD Pros, it's like 3.2 versus the rest of the lineup, which gets a 3.4 ratio steering rack. And what I've noticed is, maneuvering this truck through tight parking lot situations and busting a U-turn, it can be quite annoying. The previous generation Tundras, those things had the turning radius of like a compact car. It was incredible. And since we're on the topic of cons, I'll just bring this up as well. I just got done saying that, this truck, it drives almost flawlessly, no real issues, right? Aside from the turning radius. I said that the Hybrid Max drivetrain, it's smooth, the way the engine cuts on and off, there's no issues, and it's rather quick. Well, the cons with this Hybrid Max, it's going to be, this basically defeats its own purpose, especially on paper. Yes, it's rather powerful, but it's a hybrid that gets poor fuel economy, and for most intents and purposes, you're just better off getting the twin-turbo V6, just the regular engine, without the Hybrid Max. Now, of course, with the TRD Pro, you have no choice. You have to get the Hybrid Max. But this vehicle, it gets like 18 city, 20 out on the highway for the TRD Pro with this setup. And everyone in the comment section, they always like to bring up that, yeah, these Hybrid Maxes, they're not made for fuel efficiency. Then don't make it a hybrid. Just give the regular twin-turbo V6 more power. It's a twin-turbo engine. It's easy to squeeze more power out of it. We're way beyond the reliability days, so screw it. Just give the regular twin-turbo V6 more power. We don't need this heavy, complex Hybrid Max system. If we're just going to get poor fuel economy anyway, then we don't need this. Especially since in the real world, I'm not even meeting Toyota's fuel economy numbers. I'm getting like 16, 17 in the city. I just don't like things that defeat its own purpose. But credit where credit is due, this truck is still rather capable, Okay, even as a TRD Pro, this thing can tow over 11,000 pounds, which is great. And I believe the payload on this is about 1,600 pounds. But yeah, the extra weight, poor fuel economy, not a big fan of that. All of that could be avoided if Toyota just gave us a high output variant of the twin turbo V6. But moving on, another big pro regarding the Toyota Tundra, it's going to be with the interior space, surprisingly. For once, we actually have a solid interior with the Tundra, so I guess the inconsistency in quality can be named a con, because I've driven several other Tundras of this generation with chintzy interiors and door panels, but here, everything seems solid and well built, similar to the Capstone Sequoia that I recently reviewed. Center armrest feels a bit chintzy still, but still an improvement over some of the previous Tundras that I've tried. Seats are comfortable. Being that this is a TRD Pro, we essentially get all of the features. It's basically fully loaded. We have a pano moonroof. We have the physical buttons and switches for the HVAC. Brilliant. Everything is easy to use. We have the heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, a 360 camera, very useful here. Got your wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That works flawlessly. The massive screen works perfectly. And I like the way Toyota has implemented the screen into the dash. Digital gauge cluster shows you a lot of great information. Doors feel nice and solid when you close them. And if you go with the upper trims like this that come with the JBL audio system, you will be rewarded with one of the finest audio systems for a full-size pickup truck. It genuinely sounds good. You have plenty of storage space here. Got the wireless charging pad. Seats are comfortable. And being that this is a crew cab truck, I mean, the only configuration that you can get the TRD Pro in, it is a crew cab with a 5.5-foot bed. So you have plenty of space to sit behind, good headroom. But keep in mind though, these new generation Tundras, they offer less rear seating space and headroom than the previous generation. But I like the fact that with these newer Tundras, you don't have to get like a separate spray and bed liner. We have that composite material similar to the Tacomas for the bed of these Tundras. So it's always protected, always looks clean. You got a little outlet back there as well. So overall, I would say that the interior space, the layout, the looks, all of that is a pro. And I also like the advanced features as well. Additional pros, it's got to be the crash test safety. These trucks, they are an IIHS top safety pick. So literally one of the safest new trucks that you can purchase today, which is a huge improvement compared to the previous generation Tundra, which was one of the least safest trucks in a car crash. Now, God forbid that you get into an accident, but I'm just saying safety is a huge priority for families, right? So it's great to see that these new Toyotas are absolutely acing those IIHS crash tests. And the final pro that I want to leave you with, it's going to be the deals and the discounts that can be had with these new Tundras. Honestly, everyone complaining about the price of these new trucks, I don't know if they're just acting ignorant or what, but I've shared multiple resources in my videos on how you can save like upwards of $10,000 off the MSRP of the regular Toyota Tundra trim levels. Not so much on the TRD Pros. These are going to be at sticker. You might see a very subtle discount, but nothing huge. And how can you get these discounts? Well, I am partnered with one of the largest Toyota brokers in the United States. His name is Jim. He has partner dealerships in the Pennsylvania and California areas, and they are offering on average about 10 grand off the MSRP on the regular Tundras. And that's exactly what I recommend. You know, the SR5 up to the Platinums. I think that's going to be your best value proposition. A well-equipped SR5 or limited with the TRD off-road package. I think that's where it's at. That's what I would personally get and take advantage of those discounts. I mean, this being about $75,000 for the TRD Pro, that's in line with the RHO Ram and the regular Raptor F-150s, at least regarding the starting price. But it is true, these TRD Pros, they do tend to have really good resale value. Hindsight is 20/20, but as of right now, that seems to be the case. So there's definitely a case that can be made to purchase the TRD Pro amongst the rest of the lineup. But, you know, the reality is the TRD Pro, it doesn't really drive that much differently compared to the rest of the Tundras in the lineup. It's not like the Trail Hunter, which came with that snorkel and that crazy intake noise. Not like this engine doesn't even sound that crazy. It doesn't ride or handle that much differently either. Sure, you can argue the quote-unquote off-road capabilities. If you're going to use that, God bless you. But for the most part, these are going to be staying on the pavement. So if you just want a somewhat affordable full-size truck that you can use for work, definitely stick with the regular models with the big discounts. Plus those regular models lease out rather well, like $500 a month. In some cases, even under $500 a month. So that is wild. That's what I'm saying. Anyone complaining about the price, they're just playing ignorant or something, because these trucks are certainly rather obtainable when purchased the right way. And that's why I always talk about these car brokers like Jim, because in many cases, you can't just walk into a Toyota dealership and lease these things for $500 a month, especially in the Southeast, if that's where you're located. So Jim is a great resource. I will have his phone number linked in the description box below. He only has a phone number. You just text him with what you want. And if you want to check out his reviews, he has a page on the Leasehackr forum. He does charge a broker fee to access his deals. If you text him and you mention my channel, Main Motor Group, he did say that he'll take some money off of his broker fee, and I really appreciate him doing that for my audience. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.